Hey everyone, it's Jen with Pretty Little Garden, and in today's video I am just going to be talking to you about what I have been doing in my garden in the month of February. I think everyone knows it has been a very snowy and cold winter. I live in the Northeast. I am in Western New York, Zone 6B. We have had a really cold, wintry winter. A snowy winter. It actually reminds me of winters from my childhood where, it snowed and the snow stayed on the ground for weeks and weeks and weeks. And that's just what it's been this year. Along with that, the temperatures have just been bitterly cold. We're not as cold anymore. I think we've gotten out of that polar vortex, that a lot of the country was experiencing this winter. I think today, I didn't even check the temperature, but I think it's probably just below freezing, maybe 30 degrees, something like that. I took a little walk outside and it didn't seem, too cold like it's been in recent weeks. So, you know, I I just have been doing things that I can do, you know, given the season and the weather outside. And I've just been kind of taking baby steps towards the springtime, just looking around and doing those little things that maybe, you don't get to when, spring rolls around and you start getting into the full swing of things. So I was just going to take you through my month of February and let you know what's been going on around my pretty little garden. So I took a walk around my garden February 4th, and I remember this particular day. It was kind of bright and sunny out. I mean, the snow was still on the ground, but it was kind of the first day in a long time that I felt like, oh, there's sort of a break in the weather. And so I just walked around the garden, took some snapshots. You can see I took a picture of my raised garden bed, and I, thought to myself, I have to start winter sowing at that point. And that is exactly what I did. I took my walk around the garden and I came inside and I started winter sowing. I winter sowed a bunch of different plants and flowers, perennials and cool annuals. And gosh, I think I have my whole pack of right here, what I winter sowed. There's so many. I did forget-me-nots, I did lavender, I did snapdragons, I did a wildflower mix. I mean, there's so many. Did I do hollyhocks? I think I did hollyhocks. I did a bunch of violas from Johnny's. I did the sorbet deep orange. I did floral power plum antique, brush strokes. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I did frizzle sizzle. I did rococo frilled mix F1 violas. I did imperial antique shade. A ton of violas. I did foxglove, echinacea. I just did a whole bunch of winter sowing. So, as the weeks go on, I will be showing you, my winter sowing jugs and how they're doing and what my results are as the weeks and months progress along. And I did join the winter sowing challenge, Vita with budget gardening. It's really about just, winter sowing, and I think it's a challenge just to, get all of your winter jugs opened and planted out into your landscape, into your gardens or containers in a timely manner. Because I think sometimes that's a challenge with the winter sowing. You can get overly ambitious, I'll say, and winter sow a ton of winter sown milk jugs, and then you kind of struggle to get everything out into your garden. I don't really go crazy with the winter sowing. Like, I very much want to keep it where I can manage it and enjoy it. I do have quite a few. I didn't even count them, but I'll show you. We'll take a look. I'll show you some clips of my winter sown jugs. So I did that in the month of February, started on February 4th, and honestly, I've been doing winter sowing all month. I started with some milk jugs that I got from Starbucks and then just progressed along and as soon as I emptied like a berry container or a salad container, I was winter sowing, just taking whatever I had in the house and winter sowing in those containers. So I'm excited about that. I hope I have success. It's always fun to winter sow. If you are new to gardening or to winter sowing and you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, I will link. I did a few videos on winter sowing last year. It was my first time winter sowing last year, and I had great success, and I know you can too. So if you need a little bit more information, more detailed information, I will link that video in the description box for you. Okay, moving along, I also took the opportunity while it's cold outside to clean my pruners. That's always something I like to do during the winter months, and I kind of take my time with it and really get into, taking them apart and really scrubbing down all of the grit and the rust and whatever else builds up. I can't think of the other thing that builds up. There's something else that builds up on your pruners. But anyways, I have, a few different kinds of pruners, but I was cleaning my Falco pruners. There's lots of videos out there as to how to clean your Falco pruners, and I've done a video on how to clean them. I did buy the Falco cleaning products, and I have used them. This time around, though, I used a toothbrush and a wire brush to actually just scrub them as best I could. I also used a little bit of Dawn dish soap, I think, and water from what I can remember. It's been a few weeks now, and really scrub them down. And I have seen before that, people say that you shouldn't use like soap and water on your pruners. But, I think the issue is if you don't dry them properly, you have to dry them properly. You can't let water, obviously, or soap sit in the little crevices of your pruners. But if they really need a good scrub, I mean, I didn't think there was anything wrong with I used Dawn dish soap with some warm water and really got in there and scrubbed them really good. So, but then you also have to rinse them good and then dry them good. And I did take them completely apart and just kind of scrubbed each individual piece. And I did oil them. You want to put them back together. I also sharpened them. So I sharpened them and then I oiled them, and they are all ready to go. It feels good to take the time to do that because I know once the garden season starts and you need those pruners for all different kinds of things, you don't want to be, frustrated because they're not clean. So I did do that. And I've been walking my dog. That's something that I started doing again. Honestly, when we were in that deep freeze, Lucy could not tolerate, and I'm sure many other dogs, like the cold weather. I did buy some boots for her recently, but she did not really take to them very well. So she has her little winter coat on, but she didn't have any boots. So a couple times we did just walk down the street, and like honestly, she just turned right around and wanted to come right back in. It was just so terribly cold. So as it's been warming up in February, we've been able to get out on our walks, and that's been really enjoyable. She has enjoyed it. The dogs are like humans in a lot of ways. I think if they don't get out and exercise, they get down and they can experience that seasonal affective disorder just like humans can. So I do try to get her out and get her moving just to keep her healthy. And so this month has been really good. We've taken several walks and have really enjoyed, the fresh air, and it's just, it hasn't been as bitterly cold. So that's been really nice. So moving along into February, we did have a period of time where the snow was really, really melting, and we had some milder days, like into the 40s, which was really nice. So I did get outside, and the first thing I did was kind of tended to my bird feeders. I cleaned them out. I put bird seed in them. I put fresh water in them, and just got them ready to go. I have two little stations. There's one that's right by my shed, and I was able to clean that out and fill that up. And then there is also a feeder right by one of the windows on the side of my house, and I was able to fill that up. And we're starting to get some bird friends again. Honestly, it was really hard to feed them in the cold weather. I mean, there were times where the snow was like just mounded on top of the bird feeders, probably about a foot or so. So that was hard. So it's been nice that I can get out there and just kind of tend to the birds again. That's been really enjoyable. And I also was able to, on one of the milder days, clean out a couple of containers. I hadn't cleaned out my window boxes on my shed. So I was able to get out there and clear those out, and that felt really good. And I've really just been dreaming about what I want to do, for each garden bed and for all of my containers. I've just been writing a few things down, looking at ideas, looking at like Pinterest and different things online for inspiration. And I've just been jotting down some ideas and just enjoying that process. And I'm getting excited because I think in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be ordering a hose link for myself. So I'm really excited about that. I have wanted one for a really long time. And you hear so many gardeners talking about hose link, hose link, hose link. But really, like, I do see the benefit. I have been hand watering with a hose forever. And just this past summer, I really got kind of irritated with it and aggravated with it and really wanting to make the upgrade to the hose link. So I would love two of them. So I think I'm going to check out their website in the next couple of weeks and make that purchase. So I'll be sure to share that with you when I install the hose link and get that going. Yeah, so that is about it for the month of February. I just wanted to hop on and let you know, what's going on around my garden in the month of February. And, if you feel like commenting, please comment. What are you doing during the month of February? Are you outside? Are you able to prune? Is there snow on the ground? Do you see grass? Do you have green grass in your backyard? Let me know what's up in your garden. I know for there's a winter storm warning. We're not getting the brunt of it, but it was kind of moving up the south, up the coast towards the northeast. A lot of different states were involved. So they were supposed to get a lot of snow. I know my son, who's in Connecticut, at school in Connecticut, they had like blizzard warnings and I think a state of emergency in the state of Connecticut, but he is okay. They did cancel classes, and they were doing remote classes for yesterday and I think today as well. So anyways, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm looking forward to the garden season for 2026. I'm looking forward to sharing things with you. I'm looking forward to learning from you as well. And yeah, thank you for joining me today. And I will see everyone very, very soon. Bye-bye.